think that's just so important. It gives people confidence that when she is back, they know their role. And then when she's not, they have the confidence to come out there and make big plays for us. And so,
what do you get when you mix viral defiance, controversial officiating, and a team trying to prove they're more than just one star player? You get Sophie's revenge game. Less than 24 hours after the Indiana Fever took a tough loss to the New York Liberty, one player refused to stay silent. She didn't hold back in the post-game interviews. She didn't hide behind PR statements. Instead, she fired up her TikTok, chose a track by Sabrina Carpenter titled Man-Child, and called out the league's referees for what she believed was blatant disrespect on the court. Not just with words, but with rhythm, sarcasm, and the type of confidence that shakes systems. And guess what? The WNBA fined her. Again. But that wasn't the end. That was just the spark. Because the very next game, with the basketball world watching and the refs probably still fuming, Sophie dropped 15 points and helped carry the Fever to a massive win. Without Caitlin Clark. This was personal. And it shook the league. Let's rewind just a bit. After Indiana's frustrating loss to New York, frustration wasn't just boiling, it was erupting. Fans were already upset with officiating inconsistencies. Players kept taking hits without whistles. And then, here comes Sophie. Not yelling, not complaining, but lip-syncing with deadly precision to "You're just a man-child," while adding captions that roasted the refs as slow, stupid, and useless. It wasn't just funny. It was biting. It was calculated. And it hit hard. Over 150,000 people rallied behind her. Fans flooded the comments with "Finally someone said it," and "Sophie's my new hero." But the league? They weren't clapping. They were fining. And that's where the drama thickened. Because how do you silence a player who knows she's right? Spoiler alert, you can't. And less than a day later, she stepped on the court, not to apologize, but to drop bombs. You'd think the refs would try to avoid controversy after a public dragging like that. You'd think they'd keep their whistles holstered unless absolutely necessary. You'd think wrong. Because when the Fever faced the Las Vegas Aces just hours later, it was déjà vu, but messier. Missed calls, obvious fouls ignored. And then, boom! Coach Stephanie White explodes on the sideline. After watching Kelsey Mitchell get hammered on a drive with no call, White threw up her arms, barked at the official, and shouted something we probably can't air on live television. The whistle blew, technical foul. But here's the twist. That T was the turning point. That outburst didn't rattle the Fever. It galvanized them. It was the emotional spark that told every player enough is enough. And that's when Sophie unleashed. Sophie didn't walk into this game looking for revenge. She came for justice. And what's the best revenge in sports? Production. She didn't just score. She shut the haters down. 3 after 3 rained down like she was fueled by every critical tweet, every fine slip, every silent whistle. In one possession, she caught the ball on the wing, let it fly with pure venom, and jobbed back on defense without even watching it drop. You know that look athletes get when they're in the zone, where everything slows down, the basket looks like the ocean, and the ball just obeys them. Sophie was there, and every time she splashed a shot, it felt like she was shouting to the WNBA, "Keep the fines coming, I'll keep making it rain." This wasn't about showboating. It was about flipping the narrative. No longer the victim. She became the story. And she didn't do it alone. If you only watch the Fever for Caitlin Clark, you're missing out. Because this game, it was a full-blown clinic by the entire roster. Kelsey Mitchell was surgical, slicing through defenders, draining jumpers, hitting 21 points with ice in her veins. Natasha Howard, a walking double-double, fighting for every rebound like her career depended on it. And Aaliyah Boston, controlled chaos, footwork, patience, power. A deadly 13-10 night without breaking a sweat. They shared the ball like champions. They rotated on defense like warriors. They responded to every punch Las Vegas threw with 2 of their own. And the best part? They looked like they were having fun, laughing, clapping, celebrating every hustle play, the kind of chemistry that terrifies opposing teams. But it was the third quarter where it all turned. Down 6 at halftime, crowd nervous, momentum in question, and then Indiana snapped. The third quarter wasn't just a comeback, it was a declaration. Howard drove to the rack, absorbed contact, and finished anyway. Sophie pulled up from deep, net barely moved. Mitchell darted baseline, tossed an assist so slick it looked choreographed. Within minutes, that 6-point deficit vanished. Then came the lead. Then came the swagger. At one point, the Fever hit back-to-back threes so fast the announcers couldn't keep up. It was like watching a dam break. All the tension, all the controversy, all the frustration released. 62-56, Fever in front. And they weren't about to let go. Now it was time to close the door. If the third quarter was the takeover, the fourth was the knockout. Kelsey Mitchell started it with a brutal and one, twisting midair, flipping it off glass, and getting the whistle she'd been robbed of earlier. She stood up, clenched her fist, and roared. Then came the three. She stared down Jewel Lloyd, hit a deep shot right in her face, and walked away like it was a routine day at the office. "Damn, that's nasty," someone on the bench whispered. No lies detected. Lex clamped Jackie Young so hard she could have been ticketed for it. AB hustled despite getting 0 whistles. McDonald broke her defender's ankles with a vicious step-back 3 that had the entire arena losing its mind. Final score? 80-70. And more than the win, Indiana clinched the playoff tiebreaker over the Aces. But maybe the biggest win wasn't even on the scoreboard. Let's say it out loud. The Fever are not just the Caitlin Clark show, and this game proved it. 4 players in double figures, smart defense, unselfish ball movement, grit and fire on every possession. After the game, Coach White summed it up best. If we have Caitlin, great. If we don't, we still know how to play. That mindset, it's rare. Because too many teams collapse when their star goes down. But Indiana, they rise. This isn't just a group of players. It's a team with belief. And now, they've got opportunity. The next matchup? The struggling Chicago Sky, losers of 4 straight and reeling with a combined minus 111 point differential. It's unclear if Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese will be healthy in time. But honestly, it doesn't matter. The Fever know who they are now, and more importantly, they know what they can do. This isn't a time to play safe. This is a time to seize momentum, to rack up wins, to make noise before the playoffs begin. One team is reeling, one team is rising, and the WNBA better be watching. From viral finds to viral jumpers, from lip-syncing to back-breaking threes, from underdogs to contenders, Sophie and the Fever didn't just silence the doubters. They rewrote the narrative. No longer just Caitlin Clark's team, they're now a legit threat with depth, firepower, and heart. So what's next? Drop a comment, let Sophie cook. Tell us who's the most slept-on player in the WNBA right now. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because this season, it's about to be wild.